Hi, and welcome to The Gist. I don't know about you, but I like resolutions. The kind that we set at the start of the year, or on a birthday, or as we usher in a new season. The ones that signal new beginnings. But I also like the other kind of resolutions, which are the endings of things. When something comes full circle, or a difficult situation finally gets resolved. Let's tackle both kinds of resolutions. Let's ask ourselves why we need them and why we can't let them go. We're all familiar with the first category of resolutions. I wrote recently about how to be more realistic when we begin some new things, and how to release the pressure of artificial dates as the only time to set goals. In the New York Times morning newsletter, journalist Melissa Kirsch writes that we can instead resolve to always be resolving. This gives us a sense that we can reset our goals at any time and we can focus on progress instead of perfection. We can focus on learning, testing, and adjusting our plans as we go. As Kirsch says, vowing to overhaul your life on January 1st and trying to stick with the changes forever is a tall order. Change takes time, patience, and the ability to adapt. We can't just skip over the hard work that goes into making our resolutions a reality. We can't suddenly run marathons or change diets or become less anxious overnight. We can only take the first step and then keep taking more steps, all the while course correcting as needed. Despite the challenge of setting and sticking with resolutions, they are ultimately hopeful. An attempt by each of us to do something new, different, or better. But it's the second category of resolutions that I often struggle with more. If I'm honest with myself, I really dislike the feelings that come with unresolved situations. I much prefer neat and tidy endings. But of course, life doesn't seem to work that way. Even the most privileged amongst us, who might be more accustomed to things working out well, will face difficult circumstances. Those messy challenges that just drag on and linger without any clear resolution. Things that seem to hang over us sometimes for days, weeks, or even years. As much as we crave to resolve such matters, we don't get the closure we are looking for all too often. These kinds of open-ended circumstances can leave us feeling weary or anxious, and the uncertainty that accompanies them can feel almost unbearable at times. So when we find ourselves desperately seeking resolution and yet feel helpless to make that happen, it might be best to just take a step back. Unless it's a situation where our own or someone else's personal safety is at stake, sometimes pausing is the best thing we can do. This gives us the time and space to look at seemingly intractable problems with greater clarity. We can think critically and ask ourselves important questions. What's at the root of this problem? Have we done everything we can to get to a resolution? If all that can be done has been done, then we may have no choice but to wait for a resolution to reveal itself. We can use that waiting as an opportunity to cultivate inner stability. We can remind ourselves that we've survived times like this before and are still standing. I read some anonymous advice recently which says that our track record for getting through bad days is 100%, and that's pretty good. So, whether you're setting new resolutions or looking for problems to be resolved, take some time to dig deep and understand what you're prepared to do, what you're willing to live with, and how much you're able to let go of expectations about how things will work out. On that note, wishing you a great week ahead, and see you next time on The Gist.